is the 1990 football team. That team marked the final season of Coach Bill Maskell at GA. The team won the KVA championship. It was the 19th title in 34 years. They qualified for the playoffs. First playoff game, they had to play Dansville, which was rated number 4 in the state. Dansville had a 17-0 lead with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. And the team came alive, scored the next 22 points, and came out with a 22-17 win. Following week, they had to play Schoolcraft, the number 1 rated team in the state. Schoolcraft had won the last 2 Class C championships. It was a back and forth battle. With about 4 minutes to play, the Rams scored a touchdown, got the all-important extra point, and came away with a 15-13 win. The next opponent was Clinton. They were ranked number 3 in the state. A little bit different story in that game. The Rams rushed out and scored 22 points, held Clinton scoreless until very late in the game when they got a meaningless touchdown. The 22-7 win pushed the Rams into the state finals at the Silver Dome. There they faced Muskegon Catholic Central, a team that recruited heavily in Western Michigan. They had players from several different schools that they had recruited that were all-state caliber. It was a very tough game. Muskegon had a 21-0 lead on us, and we scored late in the game to avert the shutout. But the final score of 21-6 entered our hopes of that state championship. The 11 wins that season are still a school record. And at this time, I'll call on members of the 1990 GA football team.
Patton Sullivan, Jamie Curtis, Jason Meadows, Todd Long, Tim Wilson, Chad Armentrout, Kirk Jurgens, Pete Davis, Jeff Schleitzer, Brian Wechsler, Greg Deshawn, Greg Austin, Rusty Smith. And the coaches, Jim Losey, Jim Van Zandt, Ken Bulow, George McGinnis, Al Cox, and Bill Maskell.
Guys, because that was the most interesting season that anybody could ever imagine. We had almost going to say every day you came, what's going to happen today? Is somebody gonna show up, or is somebody gonna be in detention, or did this kid get beat up, or it was an unusual season. These kids were very unorthodox. They were very interesting because they had different personalities, they had different interests, but when it came right down to the football field, hey, they were all business. I think, you know, I had a lot of good teams here, and I gotta say, hey, these guys were overachievers. They had no right getting as far as they did. And I have to tell them. And they were so interesting because they made it exciting. Like, for example, Dick Slyson from Hackett called me and he says, "Your kid bit my kid." And I said, "You gotta be kidding me." And he said, "No." He says, "I saw the teeth marks." So the next week in practice, Kirk Jurgens comes with false teeth. They're big fangs. They're sticking right out. Hey, that brought a lot of looseness to the team. Made practice interesting. And somebody else said, "I can't make it today." And I said, "Why can't you make it?" He said, "Well, I ain't going to tell you all this, but I can't." I had to talk him into staying that day. Another day, we got another problem. And it was a turmoil all the time. But hey, they won. They won. They scored more. They went further in the playoffs than any other team. They beat the last three teams, or three of them were in the top 3 or 4th in the state. They wiped them out. They always knew they were going to play with heart, and that's what that team had. They had heart. And so I got to say, I was very proud to be their coach. I was happy I finished my career, so to speak, with these guys, even though they did cause me a lot of problems. I was going to call all of them up. I know how nasty people are. You want to get out of here right now because I tried to sit through all. I was getting nervous. So I want to get out of here too, so I know you want to get out of here. I was going to make them all get up and give a speech. But I'm not going to do that because it's going to take too long. I do want to say that I was glad to see Dick Hendershot. He coached that tennis team because he was on my staff the first year I came to Galesburg. He was the line coach, and he was there 2 years. So I was glad. Dick, where are you? You leave? Anyway, I'm glad. There he is, man. Anyway, I'm glad of my coaches. Every one of those guys, they bought into what we were doing. They did what we were doing. Losi and Bulow, of course I dragged Bulow for 40 years. I had to drag him for banging the practice. You guys remember Bulow, don't you? You guys didn't get to know George McGinnis there. And then Jim Losi, I got him on retirement. He was working for safety services. I got him over on the football team. He coached with us from that team. Finished his career there too. Anyway, instead of calling all you guys up, I would like to ask Eddie if you do want to mention something. Get along.
I'm not going to blame anybody either. I'll be short, I promise. These guys over here, this was a true team. To Coach's point, we weren't necessarily the best and the fastest and the biggest out there, but we came to play every week. But I think for us, and I know me, and I don't want to speak for all you guys, but I still take some of the things that you guys taught us into my day-to-day life with Coach Below and paying attention to detail and all the different things that you guys taught us. So, we were the guys that are out there playing. You guys are the ones that really, got us going every day. And I want to say thank you to all of you guys and Fuzz. Obviously I wish he was here. Pat, your dad. When we started on that, but you guys are the true.
That's right. That's right. He was known as the Viper. They called him the Viper. And I am sorry that Alex Forrester wasn't here, and Jim Sullivan wasn't here to see these kids, because they had a big part of it. And they were close friends of mine, and you know, I just miss those guys. I hate to talk about it, but hey, they were good people too. And I want to congratulate all the different members of the inductees, because I had them either for track or JV basketball or some way along the line, and they're all considered as friends of mine. But these guys up here are considered very close friends, and I want to see them in the spring bash. And that's an order. That's not just a request, it's an order. You gotta be there the first weekend in May, okay? Can I count on it? I got your commitment all the way on the line. And I wanted to say one more thing, and then we're gonna cut it short, is that we always had a sub sandwich there, and I remember this is an indication of what kind of leadership that we had and among one of the players. Is that we sold these sub sandwiches and we had about 1,000 of them left. And you know, I pushed those guys, you go sell your mother and dad 2 or 3 more and so forth. And so we had about 1,000 left. So I had somebody go down and get Pete Davis out of class. I get Pete down here. But I said, Pete, I want you to sell those 1,000 sandwiches. And I said, if you sell them, we'll buy new jerseys. So the next day, Pete came in with $1,000. They're all sold. Remember that, Pete? Pete is I think he's some kind of a low-end maintenance guy. He's a maintenance guy for some university. What do you teach? Physics? What do you know, Pete?
Yeah, I give lectures, long lectures. So I'm sure you guys can stand up here for a long time. This is a real honor. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everybody, for putting this together. Thanks, Coach. Thank you. Yeah, it's a great honor. These guys are, I think the one thing I think we all agree on is this is a brotherhood that you and the other coaches help us put together.
I like to feel that way.
Yeah, it's a brotherhood that we always have and we'll always have that in the good times and the bad. I'm very thankful to have that. So thanks,
I'm
Coach.
going to come to Chicago and kick your tail in. Any other guys got something you might want to mention? A funny thing or a little something? Very short though.
I am short. I'm saying, all I want to say is that these coaches and the teachers, they were just more than that to us. I mean, bus drivers take us to dances and back, and they've made the man I am today and the father I am today. And see Mike Sullivan out there, it's a brotherhood. I'm proud to be part of the school. I'm proud to be of this team. And this man right here has changed my life. And besides everybody else through here, but there's so many, you don't know, if you don't go to a small town, you don't know what that bond is. And it's something you can't it'll never go away. My cousin Barry's out there, and Barry, it's just hard to say. But I'm sorry, because I'm done.
I want to thank you also, Coach, and all the coaches that are here. I think God is so fortunate to play for you guys. I heard it from my dad when I was growing up. He was on your first football team. And I heard stories about GA football my whole life. My brother was on the 85 team and went and got beaten in the Hillsdale. I was fortunate enough to be able to be a young manager for them, that team, and then the 86 team after that.